love this place!
Hey, man, is that
Double D?
Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening their refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren, right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement, which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys. For socialism and femboys.
For socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
The diversity that the characters need to have needs to reflect the gaming world now. The mix of people that are playing these games, you know, it's not, you know, 13-year-old white boys held up in their basements. It's a very diverse crowd, you know.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
What's this? What's this? It's the jacket.
The jacket.
The jacket.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3. Great, Sam.
We dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
On guard.
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis!
Double zeros, baby!
Yeah.
That guy was looking for a happy ending.
You know, I'm in such a good mood. Let's lead off with Patrick Demo.
Let me click on that.
Yeah, you go ahead and click on that. First one in. Beating
like
DB.
Like Wally World. First one's here.
First one's here. First one's here.
But Clark, we're parked so far away. We'll be the first ones out.
Greetings, I hope. Biatch the World Builder. The coward is enjoying setting his ex to protected to avoid being schooled on how wrong he is. As do I. Thank you so much, Patrick.
I don't feel like having pizza with him anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. DB.
Always dancing.
Our boy. Yar, dog brothers and sword sisters. After 5.5 years of plague and famine, we're on the eve of a Thanksgiving to kick off a new American golden age. Damn right, brother. Rejoice and feel the hope of those first settlers. Scald. Attaboy.
Thank you both.
Way to start
and
us
also,
off. Shark
I'm going to
is
give
here.
a shout out to Dr. Greg Gillespie. I got your book. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I was thumbing through it the other night.
Got a copy of it too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Awesome
Greg.
book.
Great guy. Greg, he was kind enough to send a couple of copies to the boys here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Guys, get your copy. Dragon Slayer RPG.
Stop sleeping.
Yep, chomp chomp. Shark is here. Go ahead.
DB back up.
Double D, or DB, I should say. Enough sentiment. Let's crack some skulls. Little space there. Well, how you guys doing? Big week. First of all, let me say thank you. A heartfelt thank you to all of you subscribers. We went over 6,000.
That's awesome. It happened on Friday at around 10 o'clock. It was great.
Yep.
Double D and I were watching the countdown. I ran upstairs to grab my phone, came back down. Double D predicted the time pretty, just like he predicted American flags on his street, man.
Yeah. I know how to do a few things correct.
Got some skills.
I got a few. So yeah, 6K. Obviously, the kind of the Twitter comment from Grums that we'll get into that led to Elon's comment. And Grums has been very nice. He actually shouted me out as a good YouTuber, so I know that really helped too. So the reason I like we're kind of celebrating 6K is because that was my goal for the end of this year. At the end of last year, I always make goals at the end of the year where we're going to be. So last year we hit 3,000. I said, well, I want to double that, get to 6,000, and then I'll tell you where the goal is going to be for next year.
I set a lofty goal for him. I told him if Elon retweets that, if he likes your video, 1.1 million. Panther, get on that math, yo.
Patrick Demo coming in strong, $10. Also, a great big Ida Wang to Mr. Tondro. Oh yeah, we'll talk about him too. And his doubling down, all because he's mad that Gary never put an annoying "see you next Tuesday" on the encounter tables, so you can feel represented in D&D. I think I heard that loud and clear, Patrick, as did we all.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, you see the question there. Will Elon weighing in on D&D, will it have an effect on the game? Do you guys think anything's going to change? Doesn't seem like anything's going to change with Wizards of the Coast. I don't know.
I think it'll change with the people that are on the edge of stepping away.
Yeah.
You know, that'll definitely push people into like F you, Wizards. You know, I found my tribe.
Yep. Most followed guy. I mean, just 2 million followers. People will follow him and be like, oh, what's he talking about today? Oh, D&D. What's going on with D&D? Oh. Jeff from Canadian $5, just enjoying some Warhammer Darktide, 40K. Yeah, you were telling us about that in the members only stream. Elon doing right by Gary and watching some Double D. It's a good night. Glad you could pull up a chair and be with us, sir. My man. We're going to have a giveaway later.
Yeah.
Chris, my boy, was kind enough to send me an extra copy of Mad Scribe to give away to you mooks. So we'll do a giveaway.
Check
later.
that out. It's a quarterly mag, right?
Yep. Find it on drive-through, even if you don't win.
What a great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oops.
You got some background work
My
to do.
God.
Order now.
The background is down. Forgot I said it later. I wish it would like go a little bit longer. It's like 2 hours. Like 2 hours and that is it. Oh my Lord. There we go.
That's a good one.
Now we're proud. Now we're proper. All right. We're going to go right into it.
Bring it.
Right into it. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that, Buck.
The guy is shredding our our fantasy football league. He's like 10. He is 10-1. Everybody else is like either 5-6 or 6-5.
He's teaching you guys how to play, huh?
Oh God, yeah.
All right.
It's a nice consolation because the Cowboys are so terrible this year. Sorry, Greg. It's a tough year for the boys.
They should win tomorrow.
I would hope so. Giants, right?
Yeah, but I think the Giants' backup quarterback is now hurt, so I think they're starting their number 3.
Oh, good Lord. Well, where to begin? Where to begin? All right. Let's begin with this, shall we? This is Jason Tondro.
Sorry, not sorry. He's 11-1.
Oh, 11-1. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Greg, I respect the way you are handling business in the league. Let's just say that. Yeah, this is Jason Tondro. Who is Jason Tondro? Well, he pissed off the richest man in the world, and he's proud of it. Okay. All right, so he works at Wizards of the Coast. We've covered him before, but for any newcomers, we may have some.
So we've had an inclusivity review
Right,
of all
right,
these
right,
materials.
right.
Multiple. So let's take a step back here. Let's clarify. There are materials in original Dungeons and Dragons that would never pass our inclusivity reviews today. And a lot of it is some of it you can understand. Like, okay, these are a bunch of war gamers, and they're using armies from history, and so when they create a warrior class for Dungeons and Dragons, they call it the fighting man.
Oh my God. Oh my
Because
God.
that's what they were used to, and they were all men. They were all white.
Somebody had to go through and be fake offended by that they would call somebody a fighting man.
Yes.
So much so that was the first thing he brought up.
You can tell, you can see his smarmy arrogance when he's talking.
I do not like this guy. I don't like him at all.
I don't like how many buttons he has on his shirt. Like they're half undone. Either
it's a slob.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Dudes from Lake Geneva and the Twin Cities.
See, look at it. It's distracting.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like there's a lot of material in this book.
Right.
And I won't go over all of it.
Right.
But it would not pass our inclusivity reviews today. Well, we couldn't change it. It's history. What we can do is acknowledge it and show how far we've come.
All right, so you can acknowledge it, but by acknowledging it, you're purposely throwing shade at somebody who's dead. And that's why everybody's pissed. We'll get to your super chat in a moment, DB.
Because that's not D&D anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
He just did it.
D&D gets more
Right.
diverse and has a larger audience every day. The more diverse the game becomes, the more people of different genders and ethnic backgrounds and faiths see themselves in the game. Then they go make their own versions of the game, and more players start to see themselves represented in the game. The more diverse the creators get, the more diverse the players become, and that's the way it should be.
Hasn't happened.
So this book is very interesting because I think it really highlights how far.
Which book is he talking about?
He's talking about the 50th anniversary book.
Okay.
The one that started all this.
All right. Let's hit up this go.
And how the game has changed over the 50 years, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
How it's played, who plays it, and how it's created. That's, in many ways, the way that it's created is the part that changed the least. Because a huge driver in early D&D was fan creations. And that's still true today.
That's still true today.
And I find it very interesting and very exciting to see how the game has grown, how the audience has grown.
It has.
How we as creators, as designers,
There's a few more women that play, and hey, more power to them. Nobody's going to kick anybody out, but it's not true. It's still just overwhelmingly white guys.
learned
That's the truth.
from the past, both what to do and what not to do. I think this book has a lot to teach us. But it's also just fun to see.
Yeah.
Not real fun from Gary Gygax's point of view. Beyond the Grave. Disco Barbarian, $5. Excuse me, the paradigm has shifted. We've proven we can kick their asses. Now we stay strong and we win. They can't compete. Correct. Thank you so much. Patrick Demo, $2. A mere glance from this dude causes a barren womb. Yes. Yes, your woman's...
I want to throw this one up there. So it's really fitting.
Yeah, 99.9 of all warriors have been men. Yeah, exactly. I think I made a similar point. All the guys that have been... I know, of course, women have died in war. You know, civilians all die. But the men who go to the front lines and die, almost overwhelmingly men. Yeah, poster child for birth control.
Let's do this one right away.
Holy smokes.
Jiminy Christmas.
Thraxis. Bob is dead to me. Yeah, we will get to Bob in a moment. Jason Bleeptro can burn as Elon. I'll just say it. Fuck Tro. For $50, I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Fuck Tro can burn, as Elon says. And just you guys wait. TDS will become EDS and JDDS in time. These commies can't live without a boogeyman. P.S. This $50 is from the proceeds from my Delve Oh, Kickstarter refund. Okay. Yeah, Delve is I think Bob's I think that's his
So he
product.
just
He refunded it. Well, hey,
Good.
Bob, you reap what you sow, right? Thank you so much, Thraxis. $50. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thanks all you guys for supporting the channel. So many examples, but I can't name any. Said with a condescending tone, the typical verbal attack to put you on defense. Yes, very lame. Many things in D&D did not stand the test of time, but the wisdom and insight of the 12 harlots table is indeed timeless. $5 for Edens, yes. Strumpets and et cetera, et cetera. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it,
Chris
guys.
Miller said, we looked at the original game and found they didn't have any trans tiefling.
yeah, pretty sure.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, so that all happened. That was part of the 50th anniversary book, so you can see the underpinnings of it, and then the shitstorm started this week. We do have to kind of reset this just a little bit for anybody tuning in new. We'll do it real quick, and then we'll get to the Bob video. This is Grums, Mark Kern, World of Warcraft legend, video game legend, has a very good account on Twitter, and he shouted me out. He went out of his way to say Double D is a good YouTube account. I can't thank you enough, Grums, Mark Kern. So some people say, I don't like Grums. Look, this dude's always been good to me. So I like Mark Kern. I like Grums. Yep. D&D creators, Gygax and others are erased and slandered at the same time. Hasbro just released the new PHB and DMG, as well as the 40th. He means 50th here, Making D&D book. That's the book that Jason Tondro was being interviewed for, with a foreword that slams the original creators. And then he spoke with Rob Kuntz. All right, so what are we talking about here? We're talking, this is from that book, the 50th anniversary, but that game content includes a virtual catalog of insensitive and derogatory language. Words that are casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental disability who happens to be old, fat, not conventionally attractive. Oh, good Lord. That means ugly, indigenous, black, or a woman. What I want to know is, where are they discriminating against black people? I've never even seen, even by their own twisted logic, that was the case.
They pulled that first thing about orcs.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, before
I
orcs
was literally
became
just
Mexican, they were, African American.
Yeah, yep.
That Grums, when he said that you were a great YouTuber, he tweeted me and he said that me and Rogan, we bring it.
Yeah, you're great sidekicks. Yeah.
He sent me a copy of his book too.
Yeah.
And here they are talking about, it isn't surprising that they would dub a class of soldiers the fighting man. Well, of course they do, because men are the ones who fight in wars. I'm sorry. It's true. Talking about the queen of chaotic dragons, Tiamat being a woman. Well, Tiamat was a woman in mythology. Gary did take a shot at women's lib. He was about it. Let me tell you something. If he was sick of it back then, he'd really be sick of it now. Because you're getting normies like me who are just, don't give a fuck anywhere. That's why I'm wearing a murdered out MAGA hat. I don't fucking care. I'll wear this anywhere now. You know what people say to me? Nothing. They don't say fucking anything. Because they're beaten like dogs. And they know their time is at an end. Slavery appears in the original D&D, not as a human tragedy that devastated generations over centuries, but as a simple commercial transaction. How are you supposed to present it in a fucking role-playing game? You're never the slavers who are the bad guys. You're always the people who are going against the bad guys are always the slavers. There's never been a D&D game where the slavers are the good guys. Ever. So what is the purpose here?
Smash that like button.
Yes, thank you.
It is to crap on history and then rewrite it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. We've had them on our show. And I love here at the end, like, oh, they give stats for Vishnu. Were you supposed to kill him and loot his +3 sword of demon slaying? Yeah, if you wanted to. I mean, nobody probably did, but who cares? This is so petty. All right, so as part of the post that Grum's made, Rob Kuntz, our friend who's been on the show over in Corsica, he was there. He's with Gary. He's with Dave. He's one of the last ones left.
Hit that one real quick.
Oh, hey, Webhead Mike. So ready, but catching up from start at 1:25.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Webhead Mike.
We'll talk slower.
Yep.
So that it'll be normal.
Yeah, that's right. So,
would that work?
It might. It'd be like Ace Ventura. I remember when he was doing the slow motion.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is Rob Kuntz. This is Raid from the Heart, and this is like, this guy is pissed, and he should be. You're just talking about, of the D&D authors and its supplements, Gary, Dave, Jim Ward, and Brian Bloom are all gone. They're all passed away.
Last.
He's the, he's not the very, very last one from that time. There were others, but he's the last one that, was involved in TSR, right from the start and all that. That leaves him alone as the last man standing, the last author. It's a burden watching this slanderous episode unfold. I think it's important that we look at all of Rob's words here, because this dude has a lot to say, and he should be heard. It was done without one bat of an eyelash. A Wizards of the Coast fait accompli, done in such an assumptive manner as they wield the holy articles on morality, which they enact with their reprehensible judge, jury, and executioner demeanor. Absolutely. They were probably wincing and wondering, us, the saints of truth? Snakes, he says. They are snakes. And that is true. And you can tell by that reaction from Jason Tondro, to this whole, tweet tree. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about. And the thing is, when we look at Bob's later, he just kind of ignores Rob Kuntz. It's like they all want to pretend Rob doesn't exist. And they're just going to go right after Elon. Okay, but really Rob is the one here who's the heart and soul of this whole thing.
Do you know who he reminds me of in hearing him talk, or, as you're reading it, I'm picturing?
Yeah.
The guy in the movie Dodgeball that teaches him how to dodge.
What's his name? Rip Torn. Yeah, that sounds Rip Torn.
It just reminds me of that. He throws a wrench at him.
He should. Yeah.
You can dodge a ball.
I'll tell you, you give him some wrenches, he will. He will chuck it
right now.
Fuck yeah.
Fireball. Sleep.
Anyone who would wait until the majority of the authors who created the game were gone to stick it to them in this manner is a vile snake. And just to complete the deed, do it on the 50th anniversary, show their admirers who's in charge, show them who's in control of the IP. They fear these old times that they had no hand in creating. And they do fear Gary Gygax. His name does send shivers up and down their crooked spines. I love the way that guy can craft a passage, crooked spines. If it wasn't enough to have hounded him in life, let's do a Houdini and trample on his grave. When you purposely go after somebody's personal foibles and enhance stuff that at the time would have just been met with a shrug of the shoulders, like, oh yeah, well, Gary, he doesn't like women's lib. Well, who the fuck cares? I don't like women's lib either.
Someone wrote earlier, I put it up there, people are sick of it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you could dodge a natural one. Dodge, dip. There you go. Good to see you here, Shawnee. Yeah, Benjathan, even in Dark Sun, the slavers are dickbags. If I recall, you can become one, but no one likes them. Really, doing the bidding of the Sorcerer Kings by proxy. Yes, the game was not founded on like, hey, slavery is good. But it also wasn't founded in, when you start your adventure, you need to give a lecture about slavery being bad. You don't have to. It is bad by default. In a society where slavery exists, it's a simple commercial transaction. He doesn't drone on about how stabbing people with swords is wrong either. And there's plenty of that in the game too. Exactly, Doc. Yeah. Yeah, they're a little loose with their morals as far as the things that they choose to get excited over. Rob calls them disgusting slime. Not just Gary or Dave, us others. It's about wanting to wipe out that success and claim it as their own. And in order to do that, the fandom has to be attacked as well as that history. That's right. That's why they don't like us. It's why they hate white guys. All of it has to be purged and never again allowed to exist.
Look who's making it rain.
Damnatio. Bam. Shawnee. 10 members. So thank you so much, buddy.
Pretty soon you'll be making it snow, right? It's supposed to snow up in our neck of the woods.
Thank you so much, Sean. It's really appreciated. All you guys that are super chatting, we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You guys make the channel go. You guys make the channel go. Yep. It is true. Wizards of the Coast, we are inconvenient to them. Gary Gygax is inconvenient to them. Rob is especially inconvenient to them. They won't even talk to Rob. Did not reach out once to Rob for this 50th anniversary book. You'd think the guy who knew Gary and Dave, worked with both of them.
Lived with one of them.
Yeah, was almost the adopted son of Gary. No, let's just talk to this fucking retard, Jason Tondro. He knows. Or that other moron. Sleight of hand bullshit from gold-hobbled prestidigitators who don't know fantasy or how to summon it. What they know is how to push down on their little man syndrome by stepping on those whose shoes they can never walk in. Never. Never, ever.
Hey,
nobody could.
Double D, this ties in exactly with what you're talking about.
Yep. Guys, yep.
Yeah.
Check out. There is an interview with Rob.
Yep. We're going to be doing a
magazine.
giveaway a little bit later in the show.
Yep. And remember, it's available on drive-thru. Support Chris. Chris Miller's here all the time.
He's a good guy.
Helps us out. He's a great dude.
He'd be someone, Chris, and I think Double D, you have had a beer with him. He'd be someone to sit and chat with.
He's an interesting guy.
Right?
He's an interesting guy.
Aphrodite.
I'd have pressed him a little bit more on Aphrodite if I had known that when I was sitting next to him.
Aphrodite. Holy moly. Some of the other stuff he's done.
Okay, so preaching righteous indignation, counting their bottom lines, taking their vacations, dreaming about their next cafe latte. There's a swipe at the Seattle crowd. Posers, one and all. Talking about how he fought them in the mid-'70s. Well, we would have called them right back then. Now they are the left. He says Robillard may be a little aged, but he ain't dead yet. And they made a permanent enemy of Rob. Yep. So let's see how many real Magic cards you hold besides the illusory run for this battle. Love it, Rob. I love it.
He's taking a few days off, too.
Yep. History begins with the revolution, comrade. Attaboy, Bob. So this, of course, led to Elon's, nobody gets to trash Gary and the geniuses who created D&D. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? They can burn in hell. Bingo!
Amen.
184 of you guys watching. Thank you guys so much.
That check mark means that's his account, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is the real Elon. These creeps owe everything they have to Gygax and Company. $1.99, says Frank. Yes. Standing on the shoulders of better men. Jason Tondro is he's like, to do the Roman Empire analogies, he is like one of the, he is one of the last emperors, down the road at the end. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that inside joke.
You have Gary. Gary is the Augustus, and you have Jason Tondro as Romulus Augustus, a complete and utter failure. Complete and utter failure. So that's Elon. We love Elon, richest guy in the world, getting more and more based every day, and he's going to cut government waste, which we love.
Do you know I'm in business with him?
Are you?
I own some Tesla stock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think it's doing well. Is it
my portfolio is not huge. I'm not a major stockholder in
Yeah,
Tesla.
I'm not a major player in the Tesla.
But he is a colleague of mine.
DB, $5. Commies can only destroy. That's the goal. They leave nothing to admire or to look up to except the state. Bingo. Yes. They can only destroy. Tick History did an analysis of the early communists: Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, Lenin. You want to know the one thing they all had in common? They don't like to work. They're lazy and they didn't like to work. Well, if that's the foundation for your economic and societal philosophy, how good do you think it's going to be? They were lazy and didn't want to work.
me and Rogan can't stop chuckling.
Doc Flamingo, $5. By their logic, the moral majority was right to go after D&D for not actively denouncing devil worship. Are feminists willing to own that common cause? Yeah. Yep. All of a sudden, things are getting switched around a little bit. It's true. The lines are getting blurred and switched. Eden's $10. Should be emphasized that no one but Gary could do what he did. D&D and tabletop RPGs not just wouldn't be, but couldn't be what they are today without Gary. Yep, well said, Edens. All right, so this is something that I brought up sort of. I didn't see this at the time because I don't know if it was even available. But I was kind of dismayed that Gary's own family didn't seem to be defending him. All right, well, so this all happens, and then Heidi, Gary's daughter, comes out. Regarding the post by Ben Riggs, D&D, blah, blah, blah.
Can I interrupt you? How old is she?
I have no idea.
It looks maybe in their 50s.
Yeah, I would guess.
Okay.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, seems to be taken out of context and pieced together. I cannot verify the sources, although I truly believe that they are incomplete and or incorrect. I think Frank Menser states his insights on this eloquently. As for my perspective, this is Gary's daughter. I don't believe my father was racist or misogynistic. Was he sexist? He was born in 1938 to a father born in the 1880s and a mother born in 1906. He was raised in a traditional Anglo-Saxon Protestant family with traditional biblical family values, where the male was the head of the household. In my adult opinion, yes, this is sexist and doesn't hold up to our more enlightened standards. He was a loving father and husband. Oh, well, gee, thanks for adding that. You would have been better off not saying anything than to say, well, I guess he's not racist, but he was a sexist, but we still loved him. What kind of defense is that? When Elon Musk is telling these people to burn in hell, his own daughter is pretty much by half measures agreeing with the people that are running her father down. And I'm sorry, I'm not down with this. I don't think it's very good. I am really disappointed. I wish Ernie Gygax would come out. I think Ernie is the one that would come out and support his dad publicly.
Is he older or younger than Heidi?
I believe he's older.
The chat chimed in that she's 55.
55, okay, yeah. I think Ernie's a little bit older. Go ahead, put that up there. Patrick, $5. Elon Musk buys D&D as the top of my Christmas wish. You and everybody else, bucko. And unfortunately, unlikely, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to sell it, Patrick, unfortunately. Benjathan, £10 sterling. Please read Alexander Mark's letter to Carl, really understanding how bad of a person he was. Yeah, spoiled so rotten. One of the letters Carl and Engels endorses slavery as a means to achieve the revolution. Yeah. Karl Marx was one of the worst people in history. If you were to invent a time machine, let's just say you should go back there and have quote unquote words with Karl Marx for all the. He is directly responsible for the deaths of probably 100 million people in this world. Chris Miller, $10. I'm disappointed by Heidi's statement. I know she means well, but she makes the mistake of admitting Gary was sexist. She's afraid. Never give an inch. By the way, she is on the Gamers for Kamala list. Yeah, we highlighted
saw
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that too. No one of consequence, $5. She's trying to walk a line. She loves her father and wants to defend him, but she also has product to sell. Yeah.
So she defends Kamala.
Wizards of the Coast.
Yep. I mean, Kamala, I wonder how much she got paid. Beyonce got $10 million. I wonder how much she got.
I'm guessing she probably got $100.
That was just to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, Kamala did a really weird 10-minute thing, like speech. Oof. Maybe we can cover that. Doc Flamingo, $5. She's trying to have it both ways and stay in the good graces of those who are attacking her family. It's kind of sick. Yes, I'm sorry. This is where you draw the line. This is where you draw the line and say, my father was my father. You have no right to run him down after he's dead. This is what they're doing when you go after somebody and point out their personal, foibles, if there are any. And I don't even know that there are any with Gary. But even just doing that, you are trying to destroy the man's character, to destroy his reputation. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. And they say they're doing it so gamers can know the history. Let me tell you something, okay? There's not one gamer, there's not one female gamer, one black gamer, whatever, who said, gee, I'd love to play D&D. But Gary did an interview in 1975 for some obscure magazine where he said, damn right, I'm sexist. And I just can't play. Not one. Zero. So you bringing it up is actually the Streisand effect. But you want the Streisand effect because your goal is not to inform people. Your goal is to destroy Gary's reputation. And as Rob said, everybody else in that old era where the start of the game was. What's up, Hungar? How you doing? Good to see you here, buddy.
Such a member for such a long time. Thank you so much.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not a fan of this tweet. Yeah, she did kind of defend her father, but
I don't know.
It's like a half defense. Oh, he's a blah blah blah.
It's a soft defense.
Very, very
the
soft.
Prevent defense for all you football fans.
As Michelle Therrien of the old Penguins coach said, they so soft.
Swiss cheese defense.
Yep. K Dolo, $5. Gamers know that fucking history. We don't need WotC telling us in a re-release. Yeah, exactly. Pieces of shit. Andrew Thomas, $4.99. Let's give Bob some slack. He's going to DaveCon. He'll meet Mike Carr, etc. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. Give him grace. He's only known 5e. Well,
give him grace.
We'll talk about that.
That's his lady's name. He already got
right.
He already got
He's
grace.
already got grace.
Yeah, he already got grace.
He's already got grace. So that all led to this. As if I needed any more reasons. Now Elon is talking about D&D. Oh, let's throw Elon under the bus because he had the temerity to defend D&D. Oh, my God. So Bob's going over to Blue Sky, which is a lunatic asylum online for people that have Trump derangement syndrome, and they all just report each other for microaggressions. Have fun over there, by the way, Bob.
Blue Sky.
They eat their own.
So that's like Twitter's competitor?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a competitor, but yeah, it's a place to go. Yeah, it's an option. Yeah. All right, so that led to
kind of like.
All right, so this is Bob's video.
He looks angry.
He does. Yeah, he doesn't look. So Bob's all about fun and games, right, guys?
No, he's
Bob's about. I'm here to make you. Let's have more fun. Let's play games, huh? Let's play games and have fun. All right, so Bob. The first thing you did wrong is this channel is not afraid to go into the culture war. It's why I only have 6,000 some odd subscribers, and you have almost 200,000 because you're supposed to be above this. Well, now you're sticking your nose into the bad part of town, and I'm sorry, you're not going to leave without a little bit of a beating. It's just the way it works. Blood in, blood out. Sorry.
The tracks, pay the tax.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, so he's going to weigh in on this. You didn't have to do this, Bob, but seeing as you did, now we're going to watch.
The worst and dumbest D&D related news of our time just happened. This is like something that for the state of my channel, like this community, I feel the need to get ahead of. So first.
No, sorry. And it's not dumb to defend Gary Gygax. Only someone like you would probably think that, Bob. I'm sorry.
First brief summary, then I'll continue the caveat for a second, and then we'll talk about what actually happened. Very, I guess, notable game developer, guy who was like behind original World of Warcraft, apparently, has some.
Oh, as if you don't know. He's trying to throw shade at Grums here. There's I tell you what, there's some passive aggressive bullshit here. Very passive aggressive.
Bad opinions about the state of the game today, and I guess like fantasy gaming in general, tweeted about it, and then literal Elon Musk, owner of Twitter, retweeted or commented on this tweet, and that's what's blowing it up, right? The most followed person on Twitter, Elon Musk, is now making statements about Wizards of the Coast.
What is with this Fiddler on the Roof music he plays in the background?
There's some subliminal
Jesus.
bullcrap going on here. If I was a rich man.
If I was a rich man. Disco Barbarian, $10. Bob is so condescending in the video. He gave me AIDS.
We don't want that. And in a minute, we will get to exactly.
Oh, Greg, we're going to talk about that too. Stick around.
Exactly what Elon said, because I don't even want you to have to bother to look this up elsewhere. His literal purpose.
Yeah, don't.
Like this guy's purpose.
Don't go for yourself. You know, you can just get all your news through me. Yeah, that's working real well with the legacy media right now. Chris Miller, $5. Leftists hate Trump so much that anything his supporters like must be evil. Yes. The mental gymnastics Bob has to go through to defend Wizards of the Coast is amazing. Yep. Well said, buddy.
We'll do this one from no one, and then we're going to let the
We'll
video go.
We'll let it roll a
while.
little bit here, yeah. Elon Musk is a gamer. Elon Musk is like in the top 10 in the world in Diablo 2. Somehow he is the most successful man maybe to have ever existed. You could make that case, but certainly of the 21st century. And somehow he found time to master Diablo 2. He's like literally one of the top players in the world. Musk is a gamer, but Bob never mentions that. Yeah. He claims Musk only weighed in to stir up traffic for X. Yeah, because Bob's disingenuous and he's playing to his base of leftist dummies.
Ah, the rankings are out, buddy. Hold on. That's not it.
Oh, Elon is... Oh, he's number one now. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Good. Good for him, man. All right. Let's let this roll a little bit.
Yep.
Let it roll out.
But also, certainly, Elon Musk's purpose is to divide people and make them angry at each other. Because that's
to defend
what's good
Gary
for his website. And that's why it's really important, just from like a community management moderation perspective, to like, we need to talk about this. And yeah, the rest of the caveat is just that I've already filmed a couple of these like back to basics sort of videos. One just talking about a cool new free RPG. One that is, I think, one of the most innovative D&D videos I've ever seen on the platform, because I've structured it in a way unlike anything I've ever seen. Look forward to that in December. But in the meantime, we'll just address this. So we have this guy saying that...
Slop. What is that? I don't love the... It's very passive aggressive. The way he's just kind of like soft selling Grums, soft selling Musk as legit gamers. Grums is a legit tabletop gamer too. Yeah, he's in video games, but he's a legit tabletop gamer too.
D&D creators, Gygax and others, are erased and slandered at the same time. And we'll just pause here, because we're going to kind of take this statement by statement. They can't be both erased and slandered. That is mutually exclusive, because either you're erasing them and you're not talking about them and you're burying information about them, or you're slandering them and you're creating false information about them.
I mean, you want to go? You want to go on this one? How disingenuous this is?
Amazingly so.
Yeah.
Right there, he's at the pizzeria saying you can either have anchovies.
Yeah, mamma mia.
Pepperoni.
Yes, you can erase somebody by slandering their reputation, so people will in the future discount their contributions. $4.99 Cold War Tuesday. We're winning the war. Video gamers held their ground. Essentially, our Normandy. Elon getting involved was to get optics to the normies. Yep. Thank you, Patrick Demo. Bob's mental gymnastics are also known as panty waist parkour. Yeah. Elon triggers Bob's latent TDS. Snake Oil Sean. Thank you, buddy.
There was some clear up about Elon. He's top 20 in the world, number 1 in America.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Thank you for finding that out for us.
But I hate, this sort of pedantic, like, how can you do one and not the other? Leftists are so good at this sort of childish debate strategy.
Well, we see them doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nowadays, it's almost the preferred method. It's the preferred method of debate from them. These simplistic, how can you do one and not the other? You can't erase somebody and slander them. You can slander somebody so that they are erased in the future.
Absolutely. Slandering them is like cutting little slices out of them until they're no more.
Yep. So he thinks just because, they mention Gary and they maybe even say good things about him later, how could that be? They could have just said nothing at all and just said, he's the guy that created D&D. And because this isn't a game about somebody's personal fucking life, we don't need to know this stuff. Again, there's not one person in the world who said, gee, I'd love to play D&D, but Gary was an imperfect person. So I can't.
Holy schmoly.
Venger. What? God, past his bedtime. Good to see you, buddy. Only the Sith deal in absolutes, says Chris Miller.
Which is it? You can't have both. False.
Karate chop.
Right at the beginning.
Let it roll.
Karate chop.
But we'll take it back down a notch. Okay. And the easy part is here, they're definitely not being erased in the credits of the new player's handbook. And also, in the player's handbook, the first sentence of the foreword or his preface, whichever it is, credits them again. You can't get farther from erasing them. And slandered. Basically, he just says that in the...
What they did is all right, Gary's now Gary is the target. Okay, this is our target. We opened a book. We know it's about Gary. Okay, now we're going to just whittle him down till nothing.
Yep.
You know, that's how it's set up. You know, here's the target. This is our enemy. Let's cut him down.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cutting him down, check this out.
Step outside and slap leather, you yellow pansy.
That's right.
New making of original D&D history book, which he calls the 40th anniversary book, but as you and I know, it's the 50th anniversary book.
As you and I both know.
Forward, and I think this is spelled wrong. I guess I don't actually know off the top of my head. Apparently this forward slams the original creators and attempts to...
It's such a bitch move.
I was just going to say the same
such a
thing.
bitch
It's
move.
Pussy move.
Yeah.
It really is.
Man, I'm glad he doesn't read my tweets. They're filled.
And the
I
line
spell
about
phonetically.
distancing is a little weird because it's like neither of these guys have worked on the game in multiple decades. They created the very fundamentals of it. Essentially.
And here's Bob trying to discount him now. Tiff, did you fucking hear that too? I guess they created the very fundamentals of it. Like, no, dipshit. Without both of them, there would be no game. Like, nobody would have conceived of this and brought it to market the way it needed to be. It would not exist. And you would still be living in your mom's attic with
Which
Grace.
we're not even sure if he does or doesn't.
Yeah, he may.
Like all he does here, it's like in this quote, and it's actually a thread. There's a couple tweets here from this guy. Is he points out some of like the top 3 things that make certain people really angry for some reason. Again, not that he actually touches on all 3 of them here, but I think this is like the time where I need to get ahead of this, make my stance clear on these 3 things.
Yeah.
And we can kind of take those one by one. The inclusion of many different...
Notice what he's not doing here. He's not mentioning Rob Kuntz at all, and I call him out on that later. And I will give Bob this much credit. He didn't run away. He responded. So I do give Bob a baseline amount of credit for at least responding. Now, I don't think he gets much grace here. Pardon the pun.
Different kinds of people in artwork in the games. They're just trying to not exclude anybody. That's it. My whole thing is just about having fun in the game and wanting everyone to play it. So this is cool to me, and it's weird to me that people get mad about that. The inclusion of, yes, guidelines designed to make sure that no one feels personally, not their character, but themselves, that they never feel uncomfortable at the table.
How? How could that ever be without them bringing it up? Nobody would know that Gary said in some obscure interview, like, damn right, I'm a sexist, probably just to make a point. Nobody would know about this stuff. They're purposely boosting all of this stuff from the beginning, the foundations of the game. Triple B. Bob on that WotC knob again. Hey, yo, Silver.
Double D, you know we're at a record viewership right now?
Yes, I do.
Smash that like button,
223
everybody.
guys. Thank you so much.
Hit that like button.
Yep.
Hit it, but don't quit it.
Yeah.
Hit it, don't quit it.
Yeah, like if you're playing a horror game, you want to be scared a little bit, even as a person, not just your character. That's the idea. And all these guidelines do is say like, hey, make sure your players know what kind of game you're playing so they know what to expect. And if we want...
They jump into a game not knowing a goddamn thing, and all of a sudden they're offended? Yeah. Bullshit, Bob.
How does any of this relate to the kind of game that they're playing? Literally none of it. Oh, so something was said back in, we're talking literally 40, 45, sometimes 50 years now.
Check
this
this
shit
out. We're hitting Alaska.
Wonky! Wonky's we're gonna try to have Wonky on next week.
Yes.
Yep.
He's gonna join the party.
Yes. Yes.
As
Wait.
welcome to the party, pal.
Will our mics work?
People to have fun at the table, which I do. That's like the slogan of my channel. Those kind of guidelines are fine. And then the acknowledgement that these
dinner bell.
original creators weren't like perfect, ideal human beings.
All right, so what I want to know is when these lunatics like anyone like Jessica Price, do we need a disclaimer every time Jessica Price releases a product? Oh, this product was written by Jessica Price. It was competently done, but she's a fucking lunatic who hates men. Is that what we need to do now, Bob? We have to give disclaimers every time a product is released.
Hey, if you want me to crunch, I'll crunch. Isn't that her?
That's her. That's her. Miss Cowboy Hat.
Of course not. Without even really talking about stuff in the games, we know that Gary Gygax, because his own kids will say this. We know that he was like a great dad and a loving father, but also as a businessman, he used like company money to fund a lavish lifestyle, way over the top stuff, throwing parties, et cetera, et cetera.
That's opinion right there.
Yeah.
If you had a business and it's making money, what do you spend it on?
Yep.
Hookers and beer.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You know what, Bob? You got a Kickstarter. It looks like you got one less supporter
You got
now.
one less.
Yeah, you got one less.
Actually,
thanks for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to find people in your life that know things about you. Maybe we need people who know where your bodies are buried. Just so we can inform people before they buy your book. Hey, Bob's a great YouTuber, and he's generally an all-around good guy. But just so you know, in 10th grade, he, I don't know, whatever he did.
Use a
whatever he did.
homophobic slur.
Yeah. So, whatever. That kind of thing. Is that what we're doing now? Is that the standard you guys want?
When he was living in Hollywood trying to like woo people into making movies about D&D at the time. He's one man who did both of these things.
Then the parties, I got news for you, Bob. Those kind of parties, they go on right now too.
They're called networking.
Yeah, it's called networking, dipshit.
And so the foreword of this history book just kind of like points that out. Hey, some of the stuff these guys wrote back in the day, you might not like it. And
go ahead. Let's clean these up. Did we get them all? Fank Destrozo, $1.99. He's making Gygax sound pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gary was doing coke off a hooker's rear end. Everyone knows, no one of consequence. You have to spend money to make money. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a well-known adage.
Money
and it's like,
making money.
But it's also so. It shows how petty these people are, that they want to go down to this level to try to disparage him and prove this point. So proud of you, Bob. Carrying Wizards of the Coast water. Oh my God. That is so nice of you to talk about Gary's parties in LA when they booted him out there for the entertainment section.
So did they, did Lord of the Rings come after Dungeons and Dragons?
You mean like the books and all that stuff? No. That was before.
So did they have Lord of the Rings like movies? Like that Hobbit movie and stuff?
That came even after that. Even that came after. Yeah, like the cartoon ones. Yeah.
So those Hollywood things did help.
No, because he went out in 80, 81. I think maybe what came out of it was like the D&D cartoon. Which,
the TV show?
Yeah, the Saturday morning cartoon.
They got superstars on that show. Willie Ames.
Donnie Moss.
I could say that they spent a little too much time on it where it probably could have been more brief, but it really doesn't matter. Because then guys like this, who want you to be angry and mad, and guys like, where is he? And guys like this, who now like professionally, literally his job is to make you angry so you'll comment and retweet and basically just see more ads on his website.
Are you sure about that? He's not a gamer, huh?
Why are you tweeting then? Isn't that what you want?
Yeah. So what do you, so I'm saying you're all this, yet your fun and games channel that you have to get ahead of all this. So your fun and games channel now, now you got to weigh in on this stuff. Leave it to the pros, Bob. $5. Bob Eden says, Bob would slander and dishonor his ancestors for their opinions. Yep. He would ignore their honorable actions and cast judgment on them for their words. Yeah. If it meant sucking up to Wizards of the Coast and keeping his audience, yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, you are a shill, Bob. And I know you joke about it, but at the end of the day, look in the mirror. You're carrying water for them as they disparage somebody who's been dead for over 15, 20 years. Hollywood actively living in Hollywood, says Bob McNay. Yeah, good one. And notice how, like I said, he completely ignores Rob Kuntz because you know what? I don't. He says he does know who Rob is later. I'm not sure he knew who Rob Kuntz was.
It's like Chuck Norris now.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons and Dragons. What the F is wrong with Hasbro and WotC? May they burn in hell. He's pandering. Oh wait, there's this other fan base that has divisive opinions that I can jump in on because it aligns with my brand now, and a lot.
What's your brand, Bob? Is your brand the culture war now? Or are you just spoon feeding what you think your 200,000 subscribers need to know, as if they can't figure it out for themselves? You need to get ahead of this. Chuck Norris D&D character is Gary. Oh wow, that's like Inception there.
Lots of people, obviously including the guy who made the post, are just biting right onto it, just eating up his little pander dessert. That is the opposite of even what the original creators wanted. That's, I think, kind of where this story ends. That even if
you could have known what one of the original creators wanted, but you purposely ignored him.
Right. Gygax, Arneson, whoever, were maybe misguided in their attempts to get everyone into the hobby, they surely wanted everyone to.
What did he say? They were
misguided.
They were just having fun and wanted to share something that other people thought was cool.
Look, I think they wanted more women to play, but women were like, "No, this is a guy thing. I don't want to play this," because women back then
Tupperware parties.
Yeah, exactly. Women back then. I got news for you. They fucking did women things.
Avon,
yeah.
Avon.
Nope, we shill Jaffra.
Jaffra. Yeah,
Jaffra is Avon's counterpart, and my mom was a top Jaffra salesman.
Eden says for $2, Bob's brand is Cooks. Possibly.
So Mother Mouse
possibly
has been mentioned now on the show.
£5. TFW. I expected Pointy Hat to have this take, given his very DEI-oriented politics, not Bob the World Builder. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Like I said, his channel is all about fun and games. I'm going to teach you how to have fun and games. And then now let me go disparage, at least two people and ignore one who agrees with these two people that they're disparaging. So you really stepped in it, Bob. And I hope you're reaping the rewards right now. I mean, I'm sure you're playing to your base, and they like it because a lot of them are lefties, and that's fair enough. But all right, is this really the playing field you want to do battle on?
Play and enjoy their game. This guy doesn't. So don't be like this guy and don't buy in.
Yeah, don't be like the richest guy in the world. Don't be like him.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go sign on Blue Tin Can and String instead of Twitter. Whatever it's called, I don't freaking know.
Blue Sky. Yeah.
Blue Sky. Sounds like an airline.
It is it's a hive of scum and villainy for sure. Disco Barbarian $5. I'd much rather hang with rough talking men than shit licking boys. But that's just me. Your mileage may vary. Thank you, DB. Me too. I agree. Patrick $5. I haven't seen this much projecting since I last went to see a drive-in movie. Yep.
That was a good
Missed those days. The Badger, $5. The reactions and responses of Bob and his ilk are the precise reason to gatekeep what you hold dear. Yes. Yep. And now's the time, guys. No fucks to give. When everybody's boo-hooing and crying about Trump and all that, instead of saying like, well, you know what, he's actually going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Laugh at him. Point at him and laugh.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Yeah. Better move to Canada. Better move to the UK. Things are just going to get worse for you. Sorry.
To his, little pandering treat that he's hanging over your head, trying to make you angry about stuff. Your homework, if any, is like when you see other people trying to divide the community, shut it down. Okay?
We got some more.
That's not what we're about.
We got some more peeps to prop right here.
Keep building.
Black Lodge.
Yeah,
How
thank
you doing, boys?
What up?
So-
what up? What up?
Well, I tell you what.
Right.
So we're gonna go right into. Hold on one second. I might need the.
You got it.
I might need the reins of power here. I promise to use them responsibly.
I'm ready to start banning.
For some reason, I did not resize this one. This guy I don't particularly like. Some people in my channel like him. I've never really liked this guy. I don't know. It's just something about him has always rubbed me the wrong way. Fly Flourish. I don't know. He looks like a real like turbo nerd to me. But hey, look, if you like him, God bless.
Excuse me, teacher. You forgot to assign homework.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm the lazy DM.
Oh, here's a fun one.
Good.
I was just gonna say, behind the scenes, for what the people aren't seeing, is those classes are paying off. Our channel just tried to get hacked, but Rogan and I stopped it.
Yeah, you guys stopped
underneath that X streaming. Instead of modify, there's a button that says stop. So we just stopped Mousecock from coming in.
How much did we pay for that? Too much.
Well, the community college is free.
This past week, Elon Musk told WotC and Hasbro to quote-unquote burn in hell. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, said on his 200 million subscriber feed on his personal social network site,
we love
X,
it.
which he bought, that they should burn in hell. And in quote,
They should.
nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons.
Geniuses.
What the F is wrong with Hasbro and WotC? May they burn in hell.
Yep.
Felt a little extreme. What exactly is he talking about?
Not at all.
So he is specifically talking about the introduction to this book. This book is called The Making of the Original Dungeons & Dragons 1970 to 1977. It is an awesome book. I was not given a review copy for this.
All right, so his credibility is already shot. This is an awesome book.
I don't think Elon was just talking about the introduction. He was talking about everything in between that eliminated, that whittled away at Gygax, Arneson, and Kuntz, and everybody else that was at the forefront.
Look, it's a campaign. All their employees hate white guys. All the high up employees have tweets saying they hate white guys. Got Kyle Brink telling you white guys can't leave fast enough. On the way back that like Sled GM book, and he said something nice about mine, but he refused to admit it publicly. Yeah, that's
fitting.
So you said your piece. Now I'll say it. He's a fucking dork. I'm Fly Flourish. This is a great book. It's not a fucking
I
great
asked
book.
my beautiful wife to buy a copy for me for our anniversary, and she did so. And I really thoroughly enjoyed going through this book. I think it is an excellent history of Dungeons and Dragons. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it as we dig into this conversation. But I want to start off by saying it's a really good book. So what was the issue with this? The issue was in the first 2 pages of this book, it describes that this book contains things that are problematic because they were written back in the 70s and 80s. And that, the things weren't good when they were done then, that they did alienate players.
No. What proof do you have, you dipshit, that anybody was alienated by any of this stuff?
Never.
Somehow none of this stuff was done shedding a light on this stuff, yet 5th edition came along and all of a sudden D&D is as big as ever. Why didn't it stop a shitload of people who said, "Oh boy, holy hell, I can't play this game"? Some white guys made it in the 70s.
Disco's dancing again.
DB, this vid made me glad I've never paid for his trash. Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Chris Miller's got a mouse dropping.
Yeah, the basic mid guy. Yeah, good lord, guys. Just honestly, and I'm not even saying this like I'm not even saying this like ironically or anything. Honestly, you will get better like DM advice from Jeffro Johnson, absolutely, than this loser, and I mean that actually like sincerely. He's never said anything that I've ever like found like profound, Patrick Demo has been a member for a while, and he's making it rain tonight. All these guys are just throwing up shields because they're afraid they're going to have their perks taken away by Wizards of the Coast for not towing the company line. Yep.
That's a great point.
Well,
Yep.
So they're selling their soul. They're prostituting themselves.
Yeah. And hold on one second. Eden's $2. If the first 2 pages are slander, what's the rest? You know.
What did if his wife got him that book for the anniversary? What did he get her? A blender.
A blender.
Elon.
I don't know. Snake Oil Sean. Don't forget they erased Gary and Dave from the D&D movie credits. Yes. Choosing to thank the game's creator as Hasbro. Yep. It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Chris Miller has a great point.
Death
right
by
here.
1,000 cuts. I was there in the beginning. I'm a nerd. I have disabilities. I played with cripples and women and black guys, and we got along, and nobody was offended. I've said it a million times. I've never played with like minorities, but back in the 90s, my table was
predominantly women.
Yeah, it was player wise. It was 3 women and 2 men. But I mean, it wasn't. They liked fantasy. Like, oh, I love this stuff. So it wasn't. Just nobody thought of it. Nobody at that fucking table in the mid 90s that I was playing at said, "Well, hold on here, Double D, time out. Did you know there was a fucking article where Gary said he was sexist, and there's problematic? And did you know there was a module called Secret of the Slaver's Stockade? Blah blah blah." Nobody said this stuff until you shed the light on it. That's why it's purposeful. It's character assassination. Lord Maddie's good to see you here, Maddie. They are religious fanatics. Yep. It's sacrosanct that everything was racist, sexist, evil back in the day. You can't tell them otherwise. Yep. That's the thing is, you're really not going to be able to get through to them. So on that, my whole philosophy now is make fun of them. Make it so normies see them and be like, "Ooh, I don't want to be like those people." Mm-hmm. You're never gonna appeal to their rational nature because they don't have a rational nature. They will come to heel when everybody is pointing and laughing at them, and they start being ashamed of having this life philosophy. Disco Barbarian, $2. Grum's reporting this book 50% on Amazon already. Yeah, I think actually Sly Flourish does here too.
And they describe it that there's definite aspects of racism and sexism and slavery and all that kind of stuff, which is true. It's all true. Also, by the way, though, even if you aren't bothered by that stuff, it's 2 pages out of a 576 page.
It's 2 pages.
Out of context. My God. Yeah. Did they talk about slavery? Yeah. And
So
like
do
you said
so do
earlier-
textbooks.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what though, it's just 2 pages. If you have shit on your finger and you dip it into the ice cream, oh, it's just a little dot of poop. There's a whole gallon of ice cream here. What's the big deal?
Do you know that you just described why I hate eating outside?
Oh yeah, because flies land on
cannot
the fucking
stand-
food.
I cannot
I know. I'm
stand
with
eating
you.
outside.
I'm with you. We don't eat outside that
I
much
don't
now.
If we
Yeah.
were having a picnic, I don't exclude myself. I stand at the grill. I wait in line. I do all that stuff. I just go eat my food inside, and then I come right back out.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. So this whole it's just 2 pages.
Bleecker says, "Who doesn't like a little poop in their ice cream?" The cult I was in used to talk about how there were rat hairs in the syrup I used to like.
Yeah, peanut butter. Yeah.
It's disgusting. Can't eat that.
I mean,
mouse. There's rat hairs in it. Have some desserts with rats in it instead.
I mean, if this guy was around when like Lincoln was assassinated, like, well, what's the matter? There's only one assassination. You had the whole play after. Blah, 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 blah.
History book. It's not even 2 pages. It's like 5 paragraphs within those pages. And so
that's all it takes to disparage somebody and try to destroy their character. So you soft selling this, fuck you.
Where this led to was that, Wizards of the Coast is trashing D&D. You don't.
No, they're not trashing. They're trashing Gary Gygax. God, I don't like this guy. Look at those buck teeth. I don't like him.
I don't like him either.
Get him out of here.
This guy looks like he likes a little poop, if you know what I mean, says Chris Miller.
Thank you, Chris, for $5.
He kind of reminds me of the villain in Lilo and Stitch, Hamsterville.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have that kind of cartoony
dog,
vibe.
They call
doesn't he?
you hamster? Yeah, because I'm about to get up all up in your ass.
Don't make a 576-page, $100 book to trash D&D. Also, this
plus the interviews, plus Tondro going on the tour talking about it, plus Chris Perkins yammering about not, being guilty that he's a white dude. Mackenzie de Armas, same thing. Their star pupil. It has a cumulative effect.
It's indoctrination.
It is. Yeah. DB, $5. Woo! There's just 2 pages of our 500. Gary wrote thousands. Yep, for sure. I hate that argument so much.
And that book wouldn't be in his hands without who? Without Gary.
Yeah. Yep. But they just shrug their shoulders because they have no respect for history. It's as I think Chris said, it's their new religion. This is all religion to them, and they need to get with the orthodoxy, or they will suffer for it.
Book has in it full copies of the original versions of D&D that were ever made that had never been published before. So not only is it not trashing it, it has a complete true history page by.
He's creating a straw man here. Oh, they're trashing D&D. No, they were talking about Gary Gygax being trashed, not trashing D&D.
Right.
So he's creating this straw man out of nothing.
Page with letters, with little annotations that Gygax and Arneson had made, showing this the true history of this book. It is a fantastic book. But the idea was, well, because they dared to say that, hey, there are elements of sexism and racism and misogyny and other aspects of this book that are troubling, that they are trashing D&D. And really, they took it as a personal attack of Gary Gygax, where they felt like this trashing was saying that Gary Gygax is sexist. Well, you know who else said that Gary Gygax is sexist? Gary Gygax, who said, and I quote, "Damn right, I'm a sexist." And by the way, if you're thinking that quote is out of context, and I'll link to it all in the show notes, that is the best part of that quote, by the way. The rest of the quote is really terrible. Terrible enough that I don't want to read it aloud on my show.
Terrible enough that I don't want to read it aloud on my show. Fuck you. I've had enough of this fucker. All right. I need control here, Mouse. I'm going to go to Twitter. All right. But that guy really pissed me off. I'll show you Bob's reaction
Patrick
here.
Brought up what do you say, guys? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, entries in the prostitute encounter table tonight. I'd say so. Yeah. All right. So I called Bob out. Getting back to Bob, how Bob was lazy, that he didn't even bother to mention Rob Kuntz. And I asked Bob, "Do you even know who Rob Kuntz is?" Now, to Bob's credit, I got to give credit where credit's due.
Where's yours? Can you up?
That's
there.
Me.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He says, "I know who Rob Kuntz is. Didn't know he previously spoke on the topic. Doesn't change that the point of my video was not to discuss erasure, just to emphasize my favor for inclusion." No, there were a few, Bob, too many little passive-aggressive insults. Sorry.
This was just yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
At lunchtime.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Which Grums is against in gaming. Elon's. You have to get this through your head, okay? Grums and Elon are gamers too. So stop with this stupid like, oh yeah, but they're way more influential than me, so they can't possibly be gamers. They are. And then I called I said, "Bob, Rob's posts are right there below Elon's. He would have had to like almost purposefully ignore them."
Him, yep.
Yeah. Why didn't you read them and determine if he too is against inclusion or just in favor of not being demonized as this sinner by a company that despises white guys? Bob says, "Got it." He sums it up well with the robber barons line. Okay, so this is Bob sort of kind of being like, okay, maybe I fucked up a little bit, tiny bit. People who don't watch my videos mistook my preference for WotC's inclusion as a defense for everything these corps have ever done, even ignoring my note about the OGL in the beginning. Rob has a right to be angry, but what? But I think too many other people in the RPG community are pointing their anger, not at the corpse, I think he means WotC there, but at newcomers in the community. Oh, now that is just bullshit. That's just bullshit, Bob. Nobody's pointing anger at the newcomers. I mean, they're pointing anger at the people who want to destroy the game and make it not the game anymore.
Infiltrated the industry.
Yeah. Let's see. It's thinking their game is being ruined. Well, some people are trying to ruin it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And they're very open about it.
Yeah, they are. They're extremely open about it, as Rogan just said. That was the ultimate message of my video. Well, I think he's just okay. And this is from a Porkins clone here. If you see that, all these guys, I did a tweet myself. They all look like Porkins.
Dude, you don't need to engage in good faith with this twat, referring to me. Just block him and move on. He has nothing worthwhile to say and never has.
Fear and opposing perspective. Fear and opposing perspective.
Yeah. I love how he says, J. Ed writes, now on Blue Sky. Well, it doesn't sound like you're on Blue Sky. It sounds like you're on Twitter right now, J. Ed. Bob's thanking him. I just said, we'll discuss, and I disagree even now with your characterization, is what I'm saying. It's needlessly highlighting stuff that has no relevance to anything important. There were literally 0 people saying, I wish I could play D&D. But darn it, Gary said in an obscure interview that I'm sexist. I did appreciate Bob for coming in and explaining himself, even if he's wrong. I said most of my audience kind of likes you, or they did, and that's why it was a surprise you'd take the side of WotC here. But I don't think he's commented on that, so sorry, Bob. You know, you're getting raked over the coals.
We got a couple to clean up
Right,
before they get too far away.
Let me go ahead. Do your thing.
Chicken wang.
Do your thing.
Just one.
Yeah,
My
it's
apologies.
just one. Frank Destroso. $1.99. None of those things are troubling. Yep. They certainly aren't, Frank. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're free to scour and determine if we missed any there, just to be safe. But I think we got them. So, you know, my question is, will Elon weighing in on D&D have an effect on the game? As I said in my video on this, it's a couple bricks in the wall.
It stirred stuff up.
Yeah, stirred things up.
So it did have an effect on the game because if it stirred stuff up, it's like a hornet's nest. You know, we got people talking about it. It's on Twitter, so it's being viewed. You know,
it's the normies that always determine it. So now normies are seeing it. 2.1 million views. A lot of normies seeing that. What's all this about D&D? What's going on here?
So are we going to look back in time in the 70s at everything in culture back then and start pointing out the racism, all the stuff that they're throwing around? we just eliminate, you know, everything from our culture, from our entertainment culture.
There's literally no reason to pick these scabs other than to diminish people.
Right.
And it is weird. Like in your tweet, you made the comment like, Bob, a bunch of my viewers did like you. That's true.
Yeah. And look, I don't hate Bob.
No, we just are
right
in a
now.
disagreement
I'm
right
disappointed
now, right?
that he did that. Let's put it this way: I like Bob more than I do that Sly Flourish guy. But I don't understand what was gained by this, Bob. Like, why did you do this? Why did you side with WotC when they are going out of their way to highlight somebody's? I don't even want to call them, you know, like character faults or something. Look, we just came out of the 60s, you know, the women's lib movement. And there's plenty of reason to believe that, you know, some of it was just bullshit. I mean, some of it was, you know, maybe okay, but good Lord, a lot of it was just bullshit.
Great Gold Worms agreeing with Rogan.
Yep, it's their goal. To rewrite history. So I think it'll help when things will change when they are ashamed to say what they are.
Now I'm sure. I really
hate them. Yeah, and I mean, it's like I can't say anymore. Like my chat, you know, kind of likes Bob, you know, even though we don't, you know, see eye to eye. Now I can't say that anymore because you stuck your nose in it, Bob.
Well, he just lost some subscribers.
I agree with you, Crazy Mouse.
Good to see you here, Cal. What's that, Rogan?
I agree with Crazy Mouse. I don't want to have pizza with the guy.
I don't want to. I don't want to anymore.
For a while.
Yeah, I did for a while.
Yeah,
I don't.
I was picturing a party, us, him and Grace, and
not
be like,
feeling
hey,
it. Not feeling it.
No.
Canceled.
Sorry. It's at least for the time being, unless he comes out and like,
I messed up.
Disowns his comments.
I messed up.
Yeah. So that's the great Elon Musk.
Chris Miller says Bob is dead to me now.
All right, so I'll tell you what, let's go right back into something here, though. Did you guys know that Jaguar made a commercial?
During Mad Men?
No.
You know
During the last month.
I think I've heard something about it.
All right, well, we're going to watch it. All right, so this is going to play right through. So we're going to play right through. Here we go.
I'm trying to think of the director way back in like, I don't know, the 70s, and the filmmaker, obscure filmmaker that did movies a lot like that. I can't think of the gentleman's name.
Who's the artist who used to like Christo or something? He used to like decorate mountains and all that.
Yeah.
I got like that vibe there. Good Lord. Yeah, so that's Jaguar. Do you want to see who's behind that ad? Do you want to see the new corporate strategy of Jaguar?
Oh yeah, bring it on.
How'd that one girl walk? Did you see that? Like both her feet were in one boot.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice
Can
that.
you go back?
Yeah. I need control.
It was like pants, but like on the bottom it was a
There's
skirt.
one boot. It's the first girl.
Oh, on the right there.
Go back a little bit further.
When they're walking out of the
Yeah, when they're
elevator.
walking. Right there. Is that one boot?
Oh no, it's two boots.
Oh, it's two.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
Okay.
Wouldn't surprise me if.
I just yeah.
All right, let's see their new strategy.
This is so funny.
And at Jaguar, we're
Hold on, Sergeant. I thought the exact same thing.
Fifth Element movie. Yeah. Fifth Element's like one of Crazy Mouse's.
I love
favorite
Fifth Element, but remember how they had all those models making cameos in it?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Multipass.
That movie's so good.
All right, here we go.
About our people, and we're committed to fostering a diverse, inclusive, and unified culture that is representative not only of the people who use our products, but in a society in which we all live. A culture where our employees can bring their authentic selves to work. And we're on a transformative journey of our own, driven by a belief
This is a
in
car.
diversity,
This is a car
inclusion,
company.
creativity.
Hold on. I'm going to go one step further. It is a car company, yes, that none of us can afford.
Right. Yep. So who are you selling to? Go ahead. I'll get him. Benjathin, 2 pounds. Crazy Mouse, look up Christmas pudding.
Okay.
UK food.
I'll check it up.
Is that same as figgy pudding?
Figgy pudding.
K Dolo, $5. I'm officially stunned and braved. You're not the only one. Zoolander meets Idiocracy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Chris.
Importantly, action. We've established over 15 DEI groups such as Pride, who are here tonight in the back.
15.
That's
Thank
all?
you guys for coming. Women in Engineering and Neurodiversity Matters.
Mentally ill. They just admitted that they hire mentally ill people at Jaguar. Remember that if you bought a Jag and you want to stop. Did some mentally ill chick work on your brakes?
Launched major policy revisions such as transitioning at work to drive equity and support for our communities, embracing individuality as our superpower. And only 2 weeks ago, we held our second global annual DEI summit where we had over 10,000 employees from around the globe attend. And this journey is going to
Because they had
continue for
to.
us at Jaguar. And we
Yeah.
are going to set the benchmark for our industry.
There's no choice there, I'm sure.
That's right. So looking forward at Jaguar, creativity and individuality have been at the core of Jaguar's brand since its inception. And we're about to bring Jaguar back to something truly special.
It'll be out of business in a couple years.
Yeah. It's like you didn't learn from Bud Light.
Jaguar turn up like never before. And we're not just talking about new cars. We are.
Thank you for your donation, says Bag Full of Dice, $1.99. Thank you for your donation. Gay millionaires, that's the market. Yeah. Asterion Moloch, $10. Thank you so much. 1 second here. I'll get rid of that. There you go. Just saw the clip at the start, the one with WotC clowns complaining about the fighter being male. Yep. Now I've got a revolutionary high IQ solution for them. You can just make a fighter that's a woman. Oh my God.
That's crazy talk.
That might catch on
Stop
someday,
it right
Asterion.
now.
Yeah,
You
that's going to
shut
catch
your
on, I
mouth.
think. Thank you, buddy. Edgelord, $2. Let's talk Fifth Element instead of these fruitcakes.
I'm all for you.
Well, I'm going to show you one thing too. All right, so I'll tell you what. Let me have the control back just a moment here.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a different way to do it. All right. So that's one way to do your car commercial, to focus on a bunch of idiocy. Volvo has another way.
About all new ways of thinking and embracing the full spectrum of human
Is he
potential
wearing a
and
see-through
creativity.
shirt?
I think so.
I think so. All right, so this is Volvo.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
I knew it.
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for it.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Even if it's fake.
Hey, love.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Something wrong?
No, but we've actually got something to tell you. Kate's pregnant.
Oh, I'm just joking.
You're gonna be a grandma.
Oh my God. How does it feel?
I'm scared, Mom.
Why are you scared?
About it all, you know. The nights, the responsibility. Like, we're gonna need a bigger place.
Help with all that.
I know. Bless you. You're so sweet. I've got this feeling that we're gonna have a daughter. Just as stubborn as her mum.
Well, hopefully not. The family's knows.
Now that's a legacy she might have to live with. She might be the reason we tied a knot.
What if I don't do good in class?
I just want to say and do the right things, you know? I want to see the world with her. I'll also be happy staying home, doing nothing, letting her be a kid.
Are you awake?
Number 32.
Thank you.
I want to see her fall in love. But I also know what that means. And I know she's gonna bend the rules just like I did. And one day, I'll have to let her go. I'm excited to hear what she learns about the world, herself, what she adores, what she hates. I hope she likes the name we give her.
Have you thought of any?
It all depends. We like Leia.
There you go. Sometimes the moments never happen matter the most. All right. So,
do you know what's weird, Double D? Everyone on that listens in regularly knows what I do for a living. And I was driving. This was maybe about 3 weeks ago. I was driving down a street. It's a pretty busy street where the speed limit's about 35 or 40. And I had a passenger in my back seat. And I was driving, and some girl walked right out in front of my car as I was going about. I don't drive. I'm a little bit below. I'm one of those people who drive a little bit below the speed limit. And I hit the brakes, and I gave her a honk, and I had to veer out of the way. And the adrenaline kicked in and I was pissed. And I just said, what the fuck's going on here? And I apologized to my passenger for cursing and all this other stuff. And I just thought to myself, this girl had no idea that she almost died.
Yeah.
Me going
crazy
30 some miles an hour, hitting someone going 2 miles an hour, right?
Yeah,
just walking
gonna
across
F 'em
the
up.
street.
Yeah.
I would have probably killed them. I drive a big SUV. And I just always, so that car accident that just got avoided made me think of that. Like, you never know what's going to happen. And this girl didn't know that she almost just died that day.
Yep. We have no idea how our lives
could change just like that.
And Kevin Lamb, dude, my daughter turned 18 this weekend. Why are you posting that? I hear you. I have my own reasons too. I think that's a good commercial. It's a long look. They will cut that down. That's like the long form.
Somebody made a comment that there's no way that's an American commercial.
No. Yeah. So they would cut that down for like a 60-second spot or something like that, or 30-second. But all right. So first of all, you're watching that Volvo commercial. Are you shocked? And I hate to say it, nowadays you're almost looking for it. Where's the black friend? Where's the it's not an interracial couple. Oh my God, it's a couple featuring 2 white people. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, someone made a comment about that.
And not that there's anything wrong if they wanted to do 2 black people, that's fine. Okay, but guess what? There's also nothing wrong with having 2 white people in your fucking Volvo commercial. Go ahead.
I think that if you're a father, regardless of your race, your religion, your color, etc., and you watch that right there and it didn't touch you in some way or fashion, then you shouldn't be a dad.
Well, it's pro-family.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just saw whatever that was, the Jaguar, whatever that was in Jaguar. I don't even know how to characterize that.
Bring your genuine self to work, man. If people, that doesn't happen where I work. Their genuine self is just to go in and do their freaking job. Bring your genuine self to work.
Yeah.
They build auto. Are these fruitcakes going to show up in their work just like that? We've seen the videos of people trying to do their genuine selves on having their meltdowns and stuff like that with all the lipstick and blue hair and stuff like that.
And look, Volvo's always they've always tried to corner the market on safety. So that's obviously the market they're going for. Family, safety, stuff like that. You're not going to get like a sports car commercial out of them. But you're also, thank God, not going to get, a Technicolor, whatever, throw up Benetton. That was. Yeah, a fucking Benetton ad. So I give kudos to Volvo for having a traditional, like, family commercial. I liked it.
My stepfather owned a Jaguar for a while, and he's a blue collar redneck guy, and it was one of the worst decisions of his life because he spent so much money trying to fix it.
I've heard that about
himself.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, exactly. So it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that.
They're for the millionaires.
All right, so I'm playing with your feelings tonight. I'm getting you up, down, hit you in the feels,
downers, all
uppers, downers, all arounders. Now it's time for some pure. Now we're going to go back to some pure, unadulterated rage.
Uh-oh. Who you got?
This is Dr.
Archie Bunker.
Now this is Dr. Lindsay Doe. See if you can hang with this. We're going to let this go all the way through.
.org. It's short for virtuous pedophiles. Not virtuous as in they're better than everyone because they're attracted to children, but virtuous like having moral standards and a sexual orientation that they have no control over, like the rest of us. Before you get all worked up, I'm talking about pedophilia, not child molestation or rape. Pedophilia is the sexual attraction to children. It's a paraphilia. There's a link to more information about it in the description. Videos I've made in the past explaining the kind of human diversity and development. Molestation and rape are different. These are abusive actions that often have nothing to do with attraction. Many
those eyes.
Child abusers are actually sexually attracted to adults, but they act out on children. Meaning you probably don't object to pedophiles because you're compassionate and rational, but
no, I do.
But you may loathe child molesters and rapists because they violate people. I personally try not to judge either.
She doesn't judge either. How crazy can you be?
What the heck?
I don't judge either,
That's not a
do what thou wilt or whatever. That's
not a
Yeah,
black,
do what thou
That's
wilt.
not a black car over there. That's a really, really dark gray car.
She's she's like a YouTuber too. Like I'm like, who is this chick? I saw that and like I tried to watch like some of her videos. All of her other videos are about how when a kid she would just literally put everything up her hoo-ha. Oh, I put a seashell up there. I put this, that. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
This chick is fucking great. Did you see those eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How could you miss him?
Yeah, those
It's short
those
for
people.
virtuous pedophiles. Not virtuous as in they're
Crazy
better than
eyes.
everyone because they're attracted to children, but
Never
virtuous
lie.
like having
They know. Oh, there it is. There's the money shot. Those never lie. You see anybody with eyes like this, get away from them.
Windows to the soul
Yep.
or the soulless.
It's like I think like somebody said, I think it might have been on like the Alex Jones show. Like pit bulls do this. Like when they're about to attack, like you'll see like the whites all around their eyes. Like these are dangerous people. Someone who's trying to normalize.
She should get a job at Jaguar.
Bring her genuine.
They're hiring.
The gym, $5. We were too nice and left unguarded what Gary and Dave started. Yep, there's some truth to that. Now the art's all pastel. Elon damned them to hell, but I just think they're retarded. You and me both, brother. You and me both. DB, $5. I would be banned from the internet for saying what I would do if she said this in my presence. Vile. You and me both, brother.
Do we know if she's a mother at all?
That I don't know.
I hope not.
That I don't know.
Because that's a tremendous betrayal right there.
Yeah.
So what would she think about Jared from Subway?
Yeah, she tries not to judge both. He's someone who acted on his.
Because pedophiles don't act on it. That's
what she's trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they don't. You know, I think in reality we know otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So she's okay with child corn?
My guess is
because it's not them acting on it; they're just watching it.
Yeah. Well, you know what she would do? She'd probably parse it and say like, well, the person watching, they're not doing anything wrong. Maybe the person who created it might have done something wrong. I can almost see
That's
the somersault that she would do.
Yeah,
in her
that's
mind.
disgusting.
Piece of garbage. All right. We'll do one last one. This is, we'll go quick here.
What do you think about that?
This is a dude pretty high up in the NIH.
NIH, now that you were working there.
Probably shouldn't.
What's NIH mean?
National Institute of Health, maybe.
Okay.
It's like one of the health departments. Raja Cholan, Chief of Health Data Standards Branch, U.S. National Library of Medicine.
Like saying this out loud. They might have funded Wuhan, a lab in Wuhan, China, to like make coke. And Pfizer and Moderna was getting a bunch of money from it, from all these vaccine mandates.
Raja Cholan is with the National Institute of Health.
For other vaccines, like measles or whatever, you had to go through several rounds of approval, but these were accelerated through the approvals.
Do you think that if, like, the mRNA is safe, it's like really affected people with the myocarditis stuff?
I think we're all going to learn when it's too late.
I think that's...
Was he at a bar doing that interview?
Yeah, it's a hidden camera. She was stinging him.
Good.
And
yeah,
because it looked like someone holding a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she was getting them.
Important. The lack of effectiveness of the vaccine product.
Like the 6-foot rule, remember that? Like, that wasn't like based on any real evidence that did anything. It was completely made up.
Well, what do you think? Like, happy with people.
Only people.
Raja then brings up politics, talks
People,
about
kind
which
of suss
political
that out.
party he prefers, and what would happen to him and NIH under an incoming Trump administration.
I think it would be worse for the NIH. I think it would be better for a Democrat to be in office. We sometimes fly under the radar of like the really scrutinized. I don't think it would impact me. I don't think I have too much to worry about. That's not recording, right?
It's not recording, is it?
Raja Cholan is with the National...
All right.
What was the fallout of that?
Well, I'm sure he's taken hell now. This was just released, I think, a couple days ago. James O'Keefe has done a lot of this. He started Project Veritas. He's not associated with them anymore. But yeah, he did.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he sort of is.
Yeah.
And he'll get people on the record like this. So And this guy says later on, like he would not take the boosters that they're doing now, which is fine because I never took the shot. Me and Crazy Mouse watched around in pure shock as the whole world went crazy, and we're like, what is it with this fucking 6 foot 6?
I personally, I never had the vaccine, and
to
be honest, I never tested positive for COVID. Whether I've ever had it or not, I don't know. I know that I never got sick during that time.
Yep. I hate it because, we were like one vote away in the Senate from the Biden administration. Fuck them. Putting a law into place where I would have they could have fired me at my job.
The edgelord just tweeted to us, I had to get it or get fired.
Yeah. So many people were put in this position for something that didn't work. And it's because too many people went along with it. You listen to your fucking wives and girlfriends because they get all fucking emotional, and you couldn't tell them, you couldn't look them in the fucking eye and say, honey, it's a bunch of 85 and 90-year-old men and women that are dying from this after this first wave. Like nothing's going to happen to like normal, healthy people. It pisses me off because,
2024 says he got sick after each shot, even the booster.
Yeah.
That happened to Stern.
Yeah. Well, it happened to my mother-in-law a month ago. Somebody convinced her, I have a feeling I know who, convinced her to go get the booster. She's 80 years old.
Oh, gosh.
Sick as hell for weeks. And then her doctor said, ooh, I wouldn't do that, if I were you. It's like this. It's like they have this out here. It's like an attractive nuisance. Oh, well, we'll just put this shot out here. And you can get it if you want, but guess what? You may get sick from it. Will it do any good? Well, I don't know, maybe. How about we fucking test it? I'm so fucking glad that I am the way I am. And like I said, me and Crazy Mouse were pulling our hair out at the time. Like, what is going
Dr.
on?
Amber.
Yeah. Well, there was some of us, and we had to shut up and get in line, or
it was
heaven.
not talked about. It created civil wars in our own houses.
Yeah. Are you sure this couldn't have come from the lab up the road that studies this exact virus instead of the fucking wet market? You're a fucking conspiracy theorist. Oh, am I? And then afterward, everybody's like, well, yeah, it probably did come from the lab. Oh, do we get any fucking credit for always being right? Always? Oh, really? You had to get the jab at for Gen Con. Oh. I don't want to say it's poison. I mean, hopefully everything's fine. Look, too many of my loved ones got this shot. So it's not like I'm here, gee, I hope I'm proven right and, people, drop dead. No.
We were so concerned.
I hope I'm wrong.
A few people in our circle about catching it.
Yeah.
One of them is sitting next to us. We were so worried about
because Rogan has some asthma issues.
Right.
Yep.
He got it, had to quarantine for a little while, and it was
14 days.
And we were so worried about my mom getting the elderly, and then our neighbor across the street. Because again, when it was first coming out, we didn't know what was going to happen. She has health issues. She got it. She's actually the one that brought it into our house. I mean, you could have gotten it anywhere, but she's the one that did bring it into our house. Everyone was fine.
Yeah. It's like, it's not so much for this time. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I hope everybody's fine. But the thing is, I think it did affect some people, the shot itself.
I believe that.
Yeah, it did.
I absolutely
believe and I hope it's just here or there.
What was that flu that was during President Obama's thing? Was it bird flu?
I think it was
bird flu.
Is that the bird flu or swine flu or
swine
something?
Swine flu.
Yeah, swine flu maybe.
It's just it's a magic situation right there. It's for the drug companies and other people involved in that to here's the boogeyman, make everyone fear, and then rake in the millions.
Yeah, And then this guy talks about it. This incestuous relationship, this Raja Cholan, between Pfizer, Moderna, and the U.S. government. And who ends up paying the price if something goes wrong? Everybody thinks like, oh, you're a vax. I'm not anti-vax. Test the fucking things. Test them for years.
Double D, you and I had a conversation coming back from Warzone Matrix about that earlier on when that was going on, and I explained my perspective on it and some of my fears and and why, and you explained your reasoning on that. And as time went on, the logic in this situation, proved proved what it is. I pandered, stirred up certain fears that I had. Yeah. My childhood and stuff like that. So yeah, boom. Did I get the shot? Absolutely. Did I need the shot? I didn't need the shot.
No.
I
didn't. And hopefully hopefully it just, like I said, it's nothing for most people. And but like I said, I think already too many people have had side effects on this thing. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, this is what they do when they do like years long testing. Is the side effect worth the benefit for most people? Or is this just a shot like, oh, okay, just give it to this age group?
You can get this shot, but it's going to runny nose, strep throat, diarrhea, boner for 5 hours. Like, maybe I'll just have the sniffles instead,
right, yeah.
I don't know.
But it's like you see parents even now like, oh, we got to get our kids, a booster. It's like, no. A baby doesn't need this. They have the most supercharged immune system ever.
I was amazed during that period of time where they start dropping the age. Like, oh, hang on a second here. That's like, that's bad. Like babies are gonna start like really.
And then you look in the world like, oh well, who else is doing this? No, nobody. Right. Because only our fucking retarded government has this relationship between these big pharma companies. And I love how leftists are now just all about big pharma. They went from, being suspicious of them to like, oh yeah, now I will allow them to literally determine the course of my life. Disco Barbarian, $10. A couple of years ago, one of the guys I work with was like, I was always crazy, thought you were the crazy old guy babbling and ranting nonsense in the corner, but now I understand you were right about everything. Yeah, well, welcome to our world.
Is this the same group of people?
Thank you, DB.
Who support the shot, but also support abortion?
Yeah.
Isn't that
they would
ironical?
have to. Yeah.
My body, my choice.
Yeah.
Give me the shot.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really apply though when you're like, I don't want this
weird?
thing. Yeah. Yep. But just nobody. I mean, there were people out there talking about it, but and look, we're just nobodies. Unfortunately, I didn't lose my job. Fortunately, thanks to one senator from West Virginia, the only Democrat with any bit of common sense in his body, said, "No, we're not gonna force people to get fired for this. Sorry." Thanks to him, I still have a job. But I mean, there's a lot of people in the industry. If you're in the medical field and you talked out about this, you got raked over the coals. You got called every name in the book. But now, you know what? Now I love it. Because a lot of those people, like the Jay Bhattacharya's, guess who's in Trump's administration? So that's a giant fuck you to Big Pharma and all you leftist retards who were on board with all this shit when smarter people were telling you, hold on here, stop. Time out. Garabay's here with the Chinese food. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Only half.
Yeah. I ordered a lot more crab ragoon than this.
Your dumplings are all gone. They fell out in the car.
Where's the rest of my egg rolls? I don't know. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh.
Well, and we are no O&R tonight. It's a day before Thanksgiving. So
we'll let you crazy kids
we'll let
go.
you guys go early. We'll go back with it next week.
See Hallie who's here. His pre-Thanksgiving pizza's already here.
What do you put on your pizza?
What's on that pizza?
Yeah, what is that? What do you got?
Yeah, what do you got on that, Hallie? We're not judging, but we're kind of judging.
So. I have a pizza bingo card out and ready to market. What do you put on it?
Oh, the magazine. Yeah, we got to do the magazine.
Yeah. Yes.
You guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, we're on Rumble, but you have to go on YouTube, and hold Hold on 1 second. I will need
You have
we're gonna
control.
go back, yeah.
We're still waiting.
What do you think about the
put the
NIH
pizza
now that you
down
were working there?
Put the pizza down. Tell us what you got. I don't. He got a combo. Replace the green peppers with green. Where'd it go?
Olives.
Green olives. Okay. I know I'm weird.
Okay, so just say something in the chat if you want.
Yeah, put it up here.
Yeah, just post something in the chat. I'll give you a couple minutes here if you want.
You could tell us how
to be
awesome we are.
entered into.
Grums did it. You can too.
Tell us about your
The Badger
pizza.
said he's far from anti-vax. I've had 3 smallpox vaccines, but the CV vax was never even a consideration for me.
Smart guy. Like, that's how you tell your critical thinkers. When I, a fucking accountant, said, "Wait a minute, this sounds like a flu or a common cold. They've never had like a vaccination or a cure for this. They're going to do this in a year? Huh? That doesn't make much sense. Oh, just shut up. They're working on it, man. Project Warp Speed. Blah blah blah." That's honestly that's where Trump kind of fell down a little bit too. He bought into it as well. So not everybody's perfect, but
Bob the Builder sold his soul for a personal pan pizza.
With no pepperoni.
Take off the pepperoni, please.
we always hated those people at Pizza Hut.
KG Mouse, she gets pepperoni on her pizza, but then she picks it off and gives it to Sophia Mouse. But because KG Mouse doesn't like pepperoni, however, she likes the oils from it on her pizza. Isn't that weird? Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, like when it was the 5-minute guarantee, like the pizzas weren't made to order. Like we just put pepperoni personals in the oven. Like it was like just a parade. Like keep them coming.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, we're busy, throttle it down, or we're not busy, throttle it down, or we're getting killed, just keep them coming. So like a cheese, fortunately, the cheese personals were never guaranteed. So those you could make from scratch and put in and just be like, sorry, it was only pepperoni.
6 minutes.
I like the jalapenos and pineapple and pepperoni.
Oh, is that what he had?
Just double. That was
Nick.
Nick Laserbeam's wife there.
Honk honk.
All right, guys. I think you can see this. I'm going to choose a winner here. Who's going to get the magazine? Mad Scribe.
It is showing on the thing, Double D, but it's on the little one. Can you make it on the big one or no?
No.
Okay.
It's all right. Here we go. Post something if you want this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to choose a winner. Here we go.
Hit it up.
Black Barnes. Following status unknown. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Black Barnes.
Congratulations.
You got to send Double D a message privately, right? For
I'll
his address.
I'll put my email address in the chat here. Black Barnes. I've never.
We're gonna hand deliver that.
Yeah, we're gonna have Scott Garibay deliver it. Whoops. .com. Okay, just send your address. Black Barnes to dashgabbers@gmail.com.
Send us also a triptych so we can.
So we can make a road trip. Yeah, we're always looking to get out there. There he is in the chat. Let's.
What city do you, or what state do you live in, if you can say?
Yeah, am I sending this to Mount Kilimanjaro or is this? There we go. Okay. Boom. Okay.
And here
so congratulations, Black Barnes. I will send that to you.
Oh, look at that. We
New York.
We are going to. No, forget about it. We're going to.
Yeah, we are going to come. We're just down in Erie, so
we're
just down in Erie, PA. So, if you're in Buffalo, man, let's meet in Fredonia and have some fun. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, I think we're going to take off.
Absolutely. Happy
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Let you guys go.
We had a great showing tonight. Thank you, everyone, for a great.
Oh, we got another Holly.
Oh, how do you do?
Holly. Yes, Erie, Pennsylvania, on the shores of the Great Lake Erie. That's where we are.
Man, this thing's moving.
I know
so
he can't.
fast.
He can't catch up to it. He can't, Eden's. Scott Garibay, Uber delivers every Double D item. Yes, he does. Absolutely. Yeah. So dashgabbers@gmail.com. Just send me the Addy Black Barnes, and I will send out as soon as I can. Probably won't be till Friday or this weekend.
Nothing open tomorrow.
Edgelord is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
I'm due east of Erie, PA.
My son was just in Buffalo with his wife. They saw the Bills
Chiefs?
Bills Chiefs, yeah.
They
Bills Chiefs.
must have left happy for all those Bills fans.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying, Hallie U 2024 PA? What does that mean? Are you an Erieite? That would be interesting.
How some people pronounce it, RPA.
No, he's Ohio here. PA has great conventions. He meant to say PA, but he typed PN. So then he's fixing it.
Gotcha.
You do your thing. We'll watch the chat.
All right.
Jiminy Christmas. Chomp chomp.
Sorry.
Chomp chomp.
Sorry. Stick to what you're good at. All right, Chomp Chomp. Good to see you, Shark. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving, buddy.
Eat some chum.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll chum the waters for you. All right. I don't think there's anything left to say. We said it all. Record night.
I apologize. Go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
That was the very best
turkey drop, yeah.
WKRP in Cincinnati episode ever, and I still think of it all the time.
It is, yeah. A classic.
It's like a 3-minute clip.
Yeah.
And then in the station back at the office, it's Dr. Johnny Fever, Travis, Venus Flytrap, and Bailey all in the room. And then after he gets trampled, Johnny, there's that 5 seconds of dead air, and then Johnny hurried up and plays a record. Bailey Quarters, hubba hubba. We're revisiting that one.
212. I think it might have scraped higher. I looked over. I saw 220.
220. I was in the. I saw 220s earlier. We'll get the official number later tonight. Panther, of course, will
double check.
We're going to double check it. Panther and I think it's going to be in the little over 2.5 million.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of people obviously tuning in for the Elon thing, so we'll probably be back to reality a little bit. But
welcome.
With every big bump, we keep a little bit more onto our ship.
Oh, the humanity. That was Les Nessman. That's so funny. 231 says overkill.
231. Oh, man.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks all of you guys who super chatted, gave memberships out. Really appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
I really do. I don't know what else to say. Have a great Thanksgiving with your families tomorrow. Don't talk politics. If you're in a divided family, just talk football or food or something like that. It's not worth it.
Yep.
It's not worth it.
Lions, Bears are first.
Lions,
the
Bears.
Giants, Cowboys are second. And I'm not sure. I apologize. I don't know who's third tomorrow.
Ooh, that would be the Dolphins and the Packers.
Oh, okay.
It's the only good game of the slate tomorrow if you follow football. So,
well, that's why they play him Double D. You never know.
Yeah, that's right.
You never know.
Food fight.
I'll put Double S here. He's always very kind. Him and DB and Patrick and everybody else. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Remember, the turkey was almost the American bird.
Almost.
Yeah, Ben Franklin.
Yep.
All right, I'll send you out with something here, guys. Take care.
Wait, Alice. She
That's-
just died. Who's
Yeah,
that?
Alice. That's the one Rogan was talking about from Alice's restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, Black Barnes. You got good taste. Rogan sent a tweet earlier in the week saying "R.I.P. Alice." All right, guys.
Oh, that's that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Peace. Love you.
Thank you.
Take care.
because they fail to understand or to rule. My time is now. I was chosen by heaven. Say my name when you pray to the sky. See Carolus rise. To the sky. It's not the maker. Make a mouth to my way. To the sky. See Carolus rise. To the sky. See Carolus rise.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.